Hello everyone. So in the last video we've talked about how we can incorporate CSS in our HTML in three ways, like inline CSS by specifying the CSS right here in each and every line, and we can also do internal CSS like this, and we can also do external CSS where the CSS comes from a different file. And we also need to link it like this, link and then href the file name styles.css. So any file ending with .css is a CSS file. Any file ending with .html is a HTML file. And today we'll learn how we can target the style in internal styles and external styles. So for internal styles, we did P and then specified the rule here. And the same we did here, style, and then we can understand that this style will be applied here. But how do we understand what will be applied here? And let me zoom in a bit. What will be applied here? Let's just comment it out as well. I mean, comment it back. What will be applied here and what will be applied here? What are we doing here? So let's go to MDN and understand a bit better. So the first thing we mention here, P, this is the selector. This is how we select all the P tags. We've selected this P, and this paragraph, not P. So all the paragraph, we're targeting all the paragraph, and then we're setting the color to be black, font size 100, font weight 900. So what are these? These are CSS properties. This part is the CSS property and this part is the property value. So we are selecting HTML element first. This is element selector. We'll be talking about this a bit later. So this is the selector. We're selecting all the paragraph tags, and then we are targeting the property. Which property we want to target? There's a lot of property: color, font size, font weight, border, padding, margin, and there's a lot more. And what property we're selecting and what property value we are setting. We're setting the value here, and the browser will be setting the value in our live server accordingly. Let's go to our live server, open with live server. This is starting. We need to wait a bit. Yeah. So the browser is reading from here and understanding that, okay, we need to set the color to be black, and if I change it like red, the browser will change it to be red. Okay, so we have a selector, we have property. This is the property we're targeting. This is the property value. So what's next? Let's go in the MDN. MDN is one of the best resource to learn anything. I've mentioned this previously. Yes, selecting multiple elements. We can also select multiple elements if we have we only have paragraph right here. Let's go for h1 as well. H1 hello world, let's say. And then if we were to target h1 here as well, we'll use a comma and then h1, and this should be targeting. Yes, this also has the same rules applied right here. We can also go for, let's go for another h2 tag, let's say red world. Okay, so okay, the red word didn't get the CSS value. Why didn't it get it? Because we haven't mentioned it here. We need to select it. We need to select it as well, so the style will be applied here as well. Also, I didn't mention this previously, but let's delete all the CSS and see something. I've deleted all the CSS from here, and from here as well. So now we don't have any CSS, right? Yes, but as you can see, we have some styles being applied still. Like this text is a bit bigger, this text is a bit smaller. This is coming from the h1, and these also have some margin and padding, because the browser by default sets some uh, properties like some margin and padding. So in order to get past these, we have to select everything. So this is a universal selector, so it will be selecting everything, and then we need to mention margin 0 padding 0, and then box model border box, I guess, not sure. Let's box model, it's not called box model, I'm pretty sure. Border box, let's search. Oh, box sizing, right? We need to mention box sizing here. Box sizing, border box. Yes, great. So now we don't have any margin padding for these, and these still have some margin. Oh no, these doesn't have some margin padding, but these have some font weights. We can remove the font weights if we want, like this. Let's say style and then mention font weight. Let's say 400. It'll be normal. Yes, it's just normal text, and we can also mention the font size. Font size, let's say 10 pixel. Oh, it's a bit too small. Let's go for 12 pixel or 14 pixel. Okay, this is okay, but each one also have some styles by default, and these styles were being applied right here, the font size and the font weight. So okay, so we've learned how we can use the selector. This is the selector. This is a universal selector. You have selected everything in here. So if I were to say margin 20 pixel, everything will have a margin of 20 pixel, all sides, like top, bottom, left, right, all the sides. All right, let's go back to 0. And if we are working with HTML and CSS, we'll be setting every time this thing, because we don't want any default margin to be applied. So it will confuse us later on, because you'll think, okay, where did this margin come from? Where did this margin come from? Yes, we can learn which elements gives how many margin, but that's not the convention, and people doesn't do it anyway. All right, so let's move on to the next thing here. Yeah, selector name. We have different types of selector. We can, what we just did here, we selected P and then said font size 20 pixel. Let's say again. So we've all targeted all the paragraph tags and made it 30 pixel now. Yes, so these are element selectors. As I've mentioned previously, these are all HTML elements. We can target HTML elements, and we can target also IDs and class and attribute and pseudo class selector. I'll be showing all of these to you. Just give me a minute. All right, so how we can add an ID here is just type ID and then give a meaningful name to understand it better. Let's go for first ID. It's not very meaningful, but okay, this will do, I think. So in the styles page, we need to, how we target ID is with hash, with pound sign or hash, whatever. Let's go for font size 100 pixel. So this will just target the this ID, and an ID will be always unique. So okay, I think it didn't apply for some reason. Wait, oh, it's about.html. It's the different file. My bad. Let's go for index.html. Yes, so it did apply now. So it's 100 pixel. We've targeted with ID, and an ID has to be always unique. You can't use ID right here as well. But for class name, what we'll be learning next, class selector. This class you can repeat everywhere. Let's go for class. Let's go for all paragraphs. It's a bit meaningful name now, I think. So how we target class selector is using dot and then the class name. Let's go for font weight bold. So I'll bold out all these classes with all paragraphs. Yes, the line is now bolded, and I can use this class name, class right here. Class name is for React, which we'll be learning later as well. So I've used all the classes everywhere. Let's go to about.html. and see the results. Yes, all the texts are being bolded. Okay, let's change it now to font weight normal. Yes, now the bold is gone. Let's zoom in a bit so you can watch it a bit better. I should have done it previously as well. Sorry, my bad. Let's go for bold again. Yes, all the text are bolded. Let's go for normal again. Yes, so all the texts are normal now. And we also have attribute selector. We can use an image with a source, but okay, attribute selector, the elements on the page with the specified attributes. Yes, so image source, if we use our selector like this, this will target all the images with sources. I'm not doing it right now, but you get the idea. Whichever image has a source attribute, this will be targeted, but not the image tag with source, without source, sorry, my bad. So which image doesn't have a source, this will not be targeted by this selector, but image with source will be targeted. I didn't use this myself as much, so I'm not very sure I can show you how it works, but let's it's not very useful anyway, you don't need to get ahead of it. Pseudo class selector, yes, we do need it. So we can use pseudo class selector in various ways, but let's go for the hover one. It's very interesting and we use it all the time. So let's say let's go for the p1, and okay, let's go for a separate line. P hover font size 100%. So when I hover onto the paragraphs now, this will be, why is it not? Oh, okay, we can't have a space here, my bad. Yes, as you can see, if we hover over it, if we take the mouse on it, it gets bigger. It's hover element, we can't have spaces, my bad. I haven't used it for a while because we use on click and on hover, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, you can use it, you can use it here as well and here as well. Let's do it. Hover all paragraphs, hover. Where do we have all paragraph classes? Oh, okay, everywhere. Great. Let's then make it 1000 pixels to differentiate, because if both have 100 pixel, we won't be. Oh, not this one, my bad. Font weight bold. So when I hover on it, it will be bold and 100 pixel. Both of these hovers are being used here. So when I hover over the p tag, this one is activated and this one is also activated. So we get bold font and 100 pixel size text as well. Let's make it extra bold. Do we have extra bold? No, we don't have extra bold, my bad. Let's go for 900 as we have learned previously. Yeah, these are more bolded now, and let's make the font size 1000 pixels. Okay, oh my god, it's so big. It can't be even seen. Let's go for 200 pixels. Okay, so when we hover over it, it gets 200 pixel. Let's make it 100 pixels. 100 pixel is better for us. We can see everything, right? Okay, so fonts and text. We've already learned about this, like we need to use font size and we can use font family. Yes, 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 it's a good point. And we can also target the HTML element. It will target the whole HTML element. HTML, let's target the whole HTML and let's go for open sans serif. We can mention the font family. We can change our font. The font will not be looking like this. We can go for Google Fonts and we can choose whatever font we want. Let's type something here so we can hello world. Where's the text? Wait, it's a bit confusing. Let's go for Roboto. I think my internet is a bit slow today. Uh, okay, so we'll learn about Google Fonts tomorrow, not today, because I have bad internet connection apparently. Okay, so let's move on to the next line. Yes, px value is for pixel values. We can go for we have already gone for 30 pixels and 100 pixels and everything. CSS all about boxes. Yes, we've already talked about the box model. Let's dive into it a bit better. So this is the content, the main text, lorem ipsum. This is the main content, and the padding will be applied inside the box. These are the padding. And then we have border, and then we have margin outside of our border. So outside of this box, and padding is inside of this box, and border is just outside of the padding. So this box model is very important to understand, because when we want to add padding, we need to know where this white space is being added. When we want to add margin, we need to understand where we are applying the margin. I'll make a video on margin, padding, and border differently to demonstrate the differences between them. And yeah, uh, stay tuned for the next video. I'll be making on margin and padding and border and the box model in general. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.